I felt mistreated when I was a young lad in the presence of my mother, where I felt I was a bother, someone or something to be coldly attended to. One of the experiences I remember was being in the bathtub as a young boy, and she was washing my hair and using her nails on my scalp. Oof, it did not feel good. And just going back to that moment in the bathtub, getting my hair washed and what that actually meant to me and how that shaped my life. It's unbelievable because it shrunk me. I shrunk myself. I weathered the storm and just was waiting, waiting for it to end. I didn't have the voice to say, hey, this hurts. That formed my relationship to touch. I was mistreated. I felt unsafe. Ever since that moment, I've been bracing for impact. That people hurt. Touch is painful. Stay away from people. Do not be touched. If you are, you'll be hurt. That's the posture I've had most of my life. And since that moment, I've been the one that's been mistreating myself. The way this has shown up for me, I was mistreated, I felt unsafe. And so to keep myself safe was to be the perfectionist. If I'm perfect, then I can never be mistreated. If everything around me is just so perfect, then I won't be mistreated. If I use the right words, if I teach the right way, if I have this place just so, I'm meeting everybody's expectations. Nobody can possibly criticize me, mistreat me, see me anything in any other light other than perfect. And how that's been such a sham in my life because it's kept me away from people and has strengthened my relationship to being untouchable, which has been very painful for me. It's to sort out my relationship to touch. I hated it because it represented so much hurt in my life. I spent the last probably 7 years really unpacking my relationship to touch and has allowed me to unwind this experience in a way that I could actually be touched, which has meant a tremendous amount to me. And how much I had to confront that experience to work through this unpleasant experience. And how I've been able to do that so much so that I actually appreciate touch now. And if I was not willing to take that on and to embrace the courage that I needed to take on this suffering, nothing would have changed. I would have lost the relationship. And I'm so pleased that been able to be with somebody that's given me that level of space and support to work that out. Because it has not been easy. And some days it's still not so easy. This is long-standing, still exists. I speak about these things because the idea is to stop doing it. All the ways in which we can create this experience for ourselves, within ourselves, and how delicate it is. It's catastrophic when we start pulling ourselves away from other people. What was so interesting about sharing my tale, my experience with my mother, she started sharing about her childhood and how she was traumatized in the bathtub through her mother, and how her mother would hold her head under the water, and how my mother shared with me she hates water. No surprise. And so where she experienced trauma, I experienced trauma from the hands of those that loved us. Was it intentional? I would say no. Didn't feel that way in the moment, but how long-standing these experiences are. That they live in our lineage and they've been around for a very long time, and how they get passed from one generation to the next. And how important it is that we pause, take a peek, notice ourselves, get a hold of ourselves so we can take care of ourselves in new ways. Perhaps to teach the ones that are coming after us something new.